are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworks with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworks and become an Iron Scout.
It is Tuesday, my dudes.
And a happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. My name is Josh Corey, and it's a hell of a Tuesday. Normally this is where I'd be introducing everybody, but I really think I'm done with that. I think we can just jump right in. I don't think you guys need to have my permission to talk.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's cool.
Wait, what happened?
I'm done with the introductions on the morning show.
Kidding, dude. I'm just kidding.
So let's jump right in and say hello to Mr. Walter. I'm just kidding, too.
So, morning, everyone. So we can still sort of work out what everyone's been doing, can't we?
No, I don't want anyone to know anymore. Just being silly. I'm still waking up, and I'm quite goofy this morning. I think it's the delirium finally setting in.
It was bound to happen, Walt.
You know, when you get to this age, 8 days older today, it does creep up on you. It does creep up on you. Man, it's August already, everybody. What happened?
Seemed to find
I know.
It was like I blinked and it was 2019, and now look at us now.
What? Is this the year of Blade Runner?
I don't even know. No, that was last year.
Right. Was it last year? Okay, 2020.
I don't remember. I'll have to go look again. It's been too long. Trying to get into the chat, but it's me struggling. I'm on 2 devices, so I've got a phone for the call and the computer for the chat. But now I'm there.
What was Soylent Green? Wasn't that 2000?
All right, let's find all these dates. Let's see.
What about that one George Orwell book? When was that?
1894, I think.
Animal Farm?
Here in the reset, I think they were talking. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Blade Runner year. Oh, man, who can type this early? What are those letters doing? 2049, right? No, I'm kidding. Oh, I know y'all aren't going to sit here in silence.
Just
November
waiting.
2019. November 2019 is when it took place. I thought
Well, we
was
knew it wasn't going to
2019.
take very long while, so.
Oh
we're just
man, you
waiting,
think the internet's
it's
like
fine.
instantaneous? Like you guys are wanting like instant gratification. I can tell. November 2019 is when the setting of Blade Runner occurred, sirs and ladies and gentlemen. What was the other year? I'm trying to find. I can't think.
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green.
Why are we looking at Blade Runner?
I don't know. I'm doing it for the freaking shit of it. I guess. All right. The green year was 2022. That's next year. Next year we all get our green. The thing is, this was already out there.
Like you were saying, I went back and was looking at some of the Soylent Green stuff. There are so many people wearing masks in that movie.
Yep. And don't forget, Soylent Green Day is Tuesday, so this is kind of appropriate. Soylent
And if
Green
you haven't
Day,
seen that movie,
I've never seen it. You're gonna have to tell me.
Goodness.
gotta see it. It's currently streaming somewhere. I don't remember where I watched it recently, but yeah, it's really a classic.
Yeah, right.
And you get to watch Charlton Heston chew some scenery, and you get to watch Edward G. Robinson go, "Where's your Moses now?" Wait, no, that's a different movie.
Yeah, that was my first Charlton Heston movie, and I was like, dude, this guy is an awesome actor. As soon as I saw that movie, I was like, wow, I can't believe my mom didn't make me go watch every Charlton Heston movie.
Right. Its attitude towards women did not age well, though. Let's just say that, considering it came out in the 70s. 73 to be exact. It did not age well as far as its... The women were considered furniture. They were part of the building.
Yeah, I remember
Go
that.
Future! Oh, but people's predictions sometimes fall short.
I mean, did that... I'm not going to open that can of worms.
The closest thing, like, to, that Soylent Green type idea was the movie Jupiter. You ever seen that one?
I think so, vaguely. That was about space, right?
I remember Jupiter Rising.
And that was sort of harvesting.
That Jupiter Rising with
yeah.
I Can't Act out of my paper bag, and Magic Mike, I think, was there. Anyway.
Mila Kunis. Right.
Mila, I Can't act out of a paper bag. Anyway.
Wasn't Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Apparently.
Jupiter Ascending, that was it.
Thank you, Baldini there in chat. I could not remember. I was right. I just had the wrong. I need to get my Rogers out. It was right.
It was originally going to be called Saturn instead of Jupiter. So
really,
but I think that would
No, you're lying. They really changed it from Saturn to Jupiter. Come on, I'm gonna look it up. Man.
They gotta look it up. Yeah,
I'm not.
Half an hour. I could be full of shit too. I don't know.
Probably.
There have been times where
I hear a little twinkle in your eyes, so I'm gonna just not look that up.
So what'd you do this weekend, Lucas?
What I do?
Anything exciting?
Well, it was pretty. It was a relatively good day today. We went. Well, I've been doing a little bit of plastering, so that's been keeping me busy with the cold and wet weather. And then we went for a little bit of a hike today at a place called Mount Arapiles, which is probably about 40 k's from where I am now. And it's sort of like a famous rock climbing place. So lots of people go there, and they call them mountain goats. And they go and it has, the reason why it's so good is because it has multiple different sort of levels involved. You can go to a different spot and you'll have a beginner's path, go to a different spot and you'll end up with you sort of expert. And so it has a range of different sort of levels for the rock climbers, and they really like it.
And this is the time of year everybody goes, right? When it's a little bit cooler out.
I don't know. It'd
So
probably
in
be pretty good.
Texas, they go in like January, February, which is weird because like in the northern part of the country, it's, you know, freezing cold, snow everywhere. But in Texas, it's about 50 degrees. And the rock climbers like that because they don't sweat and their hands don't get all, you know, clammy and wet and sweaty. So they have better grips. That's what the rock climber down there in, Texas was telling me. He said they don't come in the summertime. He said, I think it has to do, well, it's real hot in Texas in the summer. It's real hot. But he said they come in January because then they don't sweat so much and they can, you know, hold on to the rock better and not overexert themselves so much. Rock climbing, that's some serious, you got to be in good condition. I did one of those walls while I was there, and the wall like curled up so you could hang upside down. Dude, I can't hang very long. It's not like when I was a kid, when I was like a monkey and I could just hang there on the jungle gym all day long. Like,
I know. You have to be super strong, especially
you start feeling it.
Well, it's one thing to hold yourself up with, you know, a good grip. It's another thing to hold yourself up with your fingertips. It's just like rough.
Yeah, I never got into rock climbing though because I don't like the heights. I know there's a flat earther. I forget who his name is. But he doesn't make too many videos. He's just more of a hangs out and chats and whatnot. But this guy did one GoPro video, and he was like up on the side of the mountain above the clouds, like sheer cliffs down beneath him. He's got all the gear, like the spikes and the. I was like, "You're a nuts, dude. You are just insane." But that's me because I don't like the heights.
I just dropped a link in there to the Wikipedia for the mountain, so you can have a gaze at it.
Yeah, nice. Nice. I was going to ask you about that earlier and forgot to. So you don't like heights. You don't like the ocean, Zach. What's the deal, man?
No, I'm
the
good.
Earth is beautiful. You're supposed to share all its majesty.
Dude, there's a lot of low flat land, and there's, you know.
Plenty of flat area to hang out on, right?
Yeah, I got it. Believe me, the Creator has provided. I don't need any more. I'm not asking for any more land or anything like that. It's cool. But just don't expect me to go out there and hang out. No.
I almost got into rock climbing there for a little bit. During my late teens, yeah. It's definitely a lot of fun. And even testing yourself to see how strong your fingers are and your forearms are. It was, because my dad, I kind of grew up on some river bluffs. And a lot of times at points along the river, in the different bluffs, you might find some little caves, little overhangs, little tunnels, and things for a young boy to explore and have fun in. So I kind of grew up climbing around on the limestone bluffs. And then as I got older, my altitude went up. I guess I just started climbing a little bit higher and higher, and me and a few friends would kind of free climb sometimes. And then at 17, when I went to Canada, we actually did some like rappelling with gear and ropes and all the stuff you might actually want to climb with. And when I got back, I really seriously considered maybe picking up a couple harnesses and some ropes and trying to get into climbing, just because it's super interesting. It's super fun, just kind of hang out up there, and I don't know, there's a catharsis when you're climbing.
I'm sure it's kind of like that place. You have to get in the flow or you're going to fall. So it kind of forces it.
Yeah, it's not one of those where you can be like, oh, time out.
Hang on a second. I need to time my student.
Yeah, I don't want to be here right now. I'm going to be at the bottom of the mountain like right now. Yeah, there is none of that. It's not. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I like mountains. Don't get me wrong. I like walking up them. but and seeing the view from up there, that's cool. But the sheer cliff part is the part I don't like. Like even driving on mountains. I was in the Gila Mountains down in New Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And you know, it's like I was looking at the GPS and this one was like, oh, it's only 30 miles this way. And it's like 80 miles to go around the base of the mountain. I'm just going to do the 30 miles.
Right. Why not?
Time can't be right. It says it's going to take about the same amount of time, but it's only 30 miles. I'm up there doing like less than 15 miles an hour around these sheer cliff hairpin turns and no guardrails, white knuckling it the whole way. Never, ever again.
Yeah.
And then Bob, riding around with Bob up in the Rockies. Good Lord, he's been doing it his whole life, so he knows.
Right, so he just goes, right?
Yeah. And riding with him, it's like I'm in the back, like hitting the brake, on the floor. Like, stop, slow down, you're going too fast.
Having grown up here in the flatlands that I grew up in, for us, a hill is a mountain. So, like we went to, where was it, Oklahoma, I think? Yeah, Oklahoma as kids, and they had like a little bluff in the trailer park my uncle and them lived in, and we would play on it and be like climbing mountains, but we weren't. It was probably not even 10 feet high. But then I went to Oregon, where the mountains grew up. My goodness, driving out there was nuts. And then when moving the family out there, we had like his truck double loaded with like stuff in the back of the double camper or whatever. I mean, the double cab. My sister's car loaded up, and then the whole house literally on the back of a truck, one step down from needing to be a freaking semi. And so he's driving the big truck, and I'm driving his truck, and we're going along, and about halfway out there, he lets us kind of suddenly all get to know the fact that he's scared of heights. And it's like, you're moving to Oregon, right? It's nothing but mountains out there, right? And it's all good and fine until we start approaching Mount Shasta in the distance, and he sees it. And I can see every time we stop to eat, I could see him glancing out the window at it. Like, dude, you're not going to make it up that mountain, are you? He's like, nope. I'm like, oh, great. So I wound up driving the big truck. And so as I'm going up this mountain, my brother's on the phone teaching me how to drive on a mountain, and the fact that once you get over a 6-degree slope, you're like in death's grip, and it's just lulling you into like safety. If you're not careful, you will easily explode your brakes and fly off the side of a mountain. It happens all the time. And I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks for teaching me this as I'm going down the other side.
Awesome.
Not fun. Not fun. Not fun. Oh, and then telling me, and you see those gravel roads you see every now and again off to the right? That's where you bail out if you lose your brakes. And strap on your, make sure you got your shoulder strap on. And I'm like, yay, moving is fun.
Yeah, in Colorado, a lot of the, like when we went to Mount Baldy, they had guys like halfway down that stopped everybody and were checking your brake temperature. They're like, yep, you're doing good. Yep, you're doing good. And if people were like, you downshift. You put in a low drive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that part too. Yeah, I forgot that fun part of trying to know when to do that and not drop the transmission.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd never even heard of that before, just put it in first gear and the speed won't get that high. It never even dawned on me going downhill.
Yeah, drop it down.
Yeah. But
I've done a bit like, with the fireys and stuff, and we'd go to different places and either do burns or fight fires, and you'd be in some pretty mountainous sort of things. But we had like the Land Cruiser V8s, and, on the back of them, it was pretty much kitted out with, your tank of water was about 1,000 litres. Yeah, so you had a fair bit of weight on the back, and so you climbing all through the mountains and things like that. You sort of and going on dozer trails, so the lines that the actual dozers cut in, the roads that they cut in to go around the fires. So yeah, you sort of have to be on your game a bit with it.
Yeah, I'm good. Like I said, I did it once. Oh, next time they'll pay a movie company if they ever decide to come back across. Oh my goodness. Too intense for me.
Yeah, I don't miss it. Like, it was all right, but it's always a bit exciting when you do those things, when you're living on the edge, so to speak. But once you get to know your vehicle, it wasn't too bad. Like, there was a few things you got to learn about the vehicles and how to take off on a steep hill, and all that sort of stuff. But once you sort of get to know your vehicle and what their sort of parameters are, you can get a feel for where you can go, where you can't go, how fast you have to go to get up there, or whatever it is. But
yeah, Mount Baldy. I've been there.
The great one in chat. Yeah, the great one says nobody needs to mount Baldy.
I love it. I needed that. Mount Baldy's wild. It really is. They say there's a gravity hill there, but we went and sat there, and our car didn't go up Mount Baldy backwards up the hill. Now they do say, like, if you put certain things at the base, not like a rock, but something that'll stay on top of sand, the sand appears to, like, the sand comes in from the Great Lakes and it comes up the mountain, and then the bottom of the mountain, I don't know how it works, but it does look like things go up the hill, the way that the sand is moving, because it's not really like a mountain, it's just a big sand dune that's constantly moving. The dunes, they're wild. The lakeshore up there in northern Indiana, it's weird how it all moves and rotates and shifts. It's been so long since I've even looked at it. So there's a lot of neat phenomena that go out on those big giant sand dunes next to water. Yep, I remember falling down Mount Baldy. We used to try to run down it on field trips. Yeah, it was just right down the road from where I grew up.
Wow, I was gonna say it must have been like local for you guys. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up 10 miles from the lake, and Mount Baldy was just one county over. So yeah, that was one of the places that we would go to. There ain't much to do in Indiana. There's a lot of corn, but we got a few things. So what about you, Walt? How was your weekend, sir?
My weekend was crazily different. Things kind of all of a sudden changed in our house like that. So apparently things between my stepdaughter and her man were kind of not as like whatever it is they wanted it to be. And so all of a sudden I noticed he didn't come home one afternoon, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I go there in the back, you know how big the house is, or so I go out to the other area of the house, back around the other side to see what's going on, and find out that, they decided to call it off and blah, blah, blah. And so literally the next day, she's in there packing stuff up, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? So now she's moved back to Lafayette to, just something different. Right now, everywhere is hiring. So, like, everywhere is looking for help. Everywhere is, got signs on their wall, on their doors when you go in restaurants telling you how short-handed they are. So, she knows right now to get a place and a job will be pretty easy. So, and some friends are doing the same kind of thing. I think there's a lot of change with the young set right now. I know one of the nieces is doing some changes. My son is doing some changes in his situation. So looking for a different place to live and things. Lots of shifting energy and people. So that's what we did. A lot of emotional changes this weekend for sure. So now I'm the king of the house with a house full of cats again. And they're letting me know every day I am no longer the king of the house, that they run this room. dude. Oh my God. 4 toddlers, because the mom has turned into a kitten, which is great. It's fun watching her turn into a kitten again, because I mean, basically she was just past being a kitten when we got her pregnant, and then we had kittens. So she's young, and so for her to have 3 new playmates, dude, she acts like a nut. She's just as crazy as they are. So yeah, 4 toddlers are loose in my house, and I have no one to help me control them.
That's awesome. That only gives us like 60 seconds, and we're going to hit a break.
Wow, that flew by.
Didn't that go by fast?
Yeah, Walt and I were looking for space lettuce last night, and I couldn't find any. Like,
pretty sparse.
It wasn't prominent, you know, like I was saying last week. It's not like every other article, or even, I don't even think I got 3 articles.
Well, it's not every day billionaires go to space.
Yeah, true.
Not yet.
Well, I was going to have a talk about iodine, actually. I've been doing some research, so I'll wait until after the break for that. Or listen to someone talk about it. It's just
you got 10 seconds. Go.
Yeah, you're not waiting.
Nah.
You better summarize it real fucking fast.
I'm still reading a little bit, so I just want to check my facts before I go talking about it too much.
That's interesting, sir, because I've had some experience with iodine. So we're going to see what you found out and what my IRL experience is like. So
sweet.
All right.
Well, hey, that's exciting radio coming up for you here in just about 3.5 minutes, I guess.
Ish, yeah, 3.5-ish minutes.
My clock. I know there's one on this computer, because I struggle with 3 devices. Hey, there's music again, man. It's almost like the old days. I'm starting to feel like retro work. It's not. It's the Ironworks. We'll be right back.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. By Christine, great for heart palpitations. By Anne, before I started using this product, every afternoon my ankles and my hands would be swollen. That doesn't happen anymore. So if that part of their advertising is true, I have to assume that the rest of it is also. Not to mention that when I had my yearly blood test, only a few weeks after beginning to use this product, my cholesterol had dropped over 30 points. I'm going to continue to take it. By Croc, I love this product. It really works. By Brad, works great, thank you. Tell us your story. Get your Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Hey folks, guess what the #1 phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week. We love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I mean, I love this tea. Get the tea at getthetea.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
Once in a decade, a true story comes along that remembers the future. After 6 Amazon bestsellers, I have completed the epic Birth Trilogy, a true story of Earth. By reading the Birth Trilogy, you will journey with the characters from the origin of Earth to its final destiny in a white-knuckle ride that combines the intrigue of Tom Clancy with the epic scope of Prometheus and Interstellar. You will learn more about the purpose of life, the mystery of death, and the true nature of your soul than you thought possible. The Birth Trilogy is now available on Amazon and Kindle. The audio version is a free bonus when you buy the paperback, so even if you're not a great reader, don't worry about it. I read it for you. Use the Amazon app today and buy the Birth Trilogy, spelled B-E-A-R-T-H, or search for my name. I'm Brooks Agnew.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR. Frequency Radio.
To chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
And welcome back to the Ironworks. Second segment kicking off right now. For some reason, it seems like this music is going a little bit longer than I thought it would. Jesus.
Well, I was thinking that was top of the hour music in my head. I was like, wait, isn't that like the long music? Or something, the long break, like, because I know we had sent him some 30-second, well, I mean, some 15 seconds, some 30 seconds. I don't remember. It's been too long since I've heard that stuff. Truly, when I heard it, I'm like, really? Can we get rid of that?
Yeah, we need
even
to go.
Even as I was playing with the GIFs over there on the TFR site, missed you guys on the TFR site, missed the GIFs on the TFR site, obviously, as I can't quit playing with them.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Brian,
Josh, what were you saying?
Brian in chat wants to cut a new promo.
I just read that, and I was going to
It needs to happen. Yeah,
It's
we
been
need
time.
Lucas's name added.
Another
For
dude
sure.
on that list, right? For sure, if nothing else.
We can just splice it in.
Right,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just right at the
LC
end.
King.
Yeah, righto.
But yeah,
Hey,
we'll
before
definitely have to. Go ahead.
I was going to say, before we get into Iodine, can we talk about
No.
politics for just a second?
This dude promoted the dime, and you're going to cut it off.
Yeah, go.
Well, just real quick. Here,
Is
here
it
in the
a
States,
crouton though?
Yeah, kind of.
Good enough. We'll let it
So
slide.
here in the States,
Pass.
they're talking about, this new thing is coming around and we all have to put muzzles back on our faces and blah, 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 blah. This is what the Democrats are screaming, all these Democratic leaders. Now, I can care less about Democrats, Republicans, any of that stuff. But most of this stuff is coming from the left. I saw an article where they were showing pictures of Democrats just after they announced this, right? Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, was hanging out at Lollapalooza and nobody's wearing masks. She's in this big giant photo with a bunch of people. Nobody's wearing a mask.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Pelosi up there taking pictures without her mask on. After she just got done telling everybody you have to wear a mask. And someone else got caught. Somebody in Washington, D.C., the one who got getting her hair cut and saying, well, I'm the face of the city and I need to get my hair cut. Well, she got caught again without wearing a face mask. After she just got done telling people, you all need to wear your face mask, blah, 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 blah. So it reminds me of, Nazi Germany, where the SS officers get to walk around and do whatever they want. But the peons, below them, they don't even get to do it. And then the people definitely don't get to. They're, you do what we say. It's insanity that these people go and tout all this nonsense and then turn around and do the exact opposite on TV. It's not like they're trying to hide it. They're posing for pictures and stuff like that. It's a crazy world. I don't get it. What's going through their heads? But maybe that's more of the spell, Like, I'm going to do what I'm telling you not to do right in front of your face, but you're still going to do it. I don't know. I just thought that was amusing because there's one.
Well, maybe they're just in the know and they know it's fake as shit.
Well, yeah, of course they know it's fake, but these are the people telling us, that it's real. You'd think that, in the script they should be
doing,
yeah,
good role models.
Yeah.
Since when has a politician ever been a good role model, though? It's like, don't be that, kids. A fucking liar.
Politician make a great fisherman. That's all I gotta say about that.
I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I've been down to Horsham. I went down to a bigger town today, and then even doing a few things up the street, and just everyone's still wearing masks, and I'm just like, I don't know. Sometimes I was walking down the street today, and I'm thinking, I just had to laugh because it was just too. It was like I was, in the Matrix, literally, and I was just like, this is sort of funny, but and other times I'm just just all out rage, just like this can't be real. I can't be surrounded by this many fucking idiots. But
dude, go watch Soylent Green. I'm telling you, Lucas, you will love it.
Okay.
I guarantee Charleston Heston was having those same thoughts near the end of that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in two minds. I might end up being schizophrenic, just one who's, or you'd be end up being like the Joker, just in a completely sort of like a psychopathic happiness. Oh, I'm just stuck in this world with these people. But the other thing I've been thinking about is I got to get to the root of why this is occurring. What happened? Where did we go wrong? It's just how my brain works. There's got to be some sort of logic behind the whole lot. So I've been sort of focused on food and that sort of thing, as you guys know. So then I've been listening to all different manner of people, as I usually do. I usually go through little phases of interests, and then I'll listen to multiple people talk about the subject and different ideas, and not everyone agrees with everyone else, and it's really good. I can get a better overview and start to make my own decisions about the topic. So I was listening to this one guy, and he's like, well, talking about if you're going to have the perfect diet, so to speak, well, you can't really do it as such nowadays, because they've depleted the soils, and it's really it's humans making people's food rather than nature making people's food, if you sort of catch my drift there. And so that sort of brought up these elements or minerals that may be lacking in our diet, and what that actually does, and is this generationally sort of deficiency accumulating, lowering IQs and things like that. And so here we are, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, absolutely. This is I just saw an article yesterday, health concerns raised over. Someone found a vending machine that just sat somewhere for 2 years. All the expiration dates were 2 years old. And all the food in there was no mold. Chicken nuggets. This thing wasn't even plugged in. There's chicken nuggets, tortilla chips, all kinds of this stuff. Just a big old thing of food, and none of it was molded.
Aren't I remembering something about a machine?
It's not just McDonald's.
Had old drinks in it, literally from the 80s, like the Hubba Bubba drink, or late 90s, mid 90s, whenever those came out, all the weird, when they had that craze of just everybody had a drink out of a soft drink, and somebody found a machine. Man, I don't know. It seems like now that I'm thinking it through, it seems like there may have been more to it than just they found it. But I know what you're saying. I saw a video going through not long ago where someone had left the golden Farches crap out, or had found an old meal in something, and it was still.
One guy stored it for 20 years in the
Is
tin.
that what it was? Stored it. Okay, I knew it was like, and then you look at it and there's no mold on it. There's nothing like, because you know,
Well, that's what happened to that.
We'll stay away from it.
That's what happened to that dude who left a cheeseburger in the pocket of his coat and like hung it up.
That might be the one
that got it out.
And he found a few years later. Yeah, that's the one that he found later. Like,
that's right. He's like, it's still, you could still eat this. It looked like it was just yesterday, and it was like, 10 years old or whatever it was. It was crazy. But yeah, I mean,
There's
you're
no
talking about the
food,
plastic
food.
foods as well. But I'm going like, okay, what's your healthiest diet and things like that, and then saying, well, even if you're eating that healthiest diet for your best longevity, you're going to still have some deficiencies. And what this guy that I was listening to was explaining is that they actually make fortify a lot of the foods. So, but that doesn't mean you're getting the highest amount of that mineral or whatever that you sort of need. You're getting the baseline, basically.
You may not be getting it all because there's a synergy involved in all that shit. More than anyone who you grow the stuff, So if it's not there for you to absorb, like certain, what do they call it, intrinsic values aren't there when you get those quote unquote healthy vegetables in you, sometimes it won't even work out. I mean, not the vegetables, those supplements they try to replace the vegetables with, you won't even get.
Oh, yeah. You're just pissing it out because you're not absorbing it. That's right.
Yes, right. Exactly. Yep. Sorry, because I went down that road for years of just making neon pea. That's all I did.
Yeah. So one of the major ones that he actually brought up was the iodine, and that's why I'm sort of was going to talk about it. But one of the most interesting things, and this is what the main thing that I was actually going to speak about was, that the doctors back in the day used to prescribe it instead of like antibiotics, but they couldn't patent it or anything like that because it's literally like vitamin C. It's like handing out pills of vitamin C to get you well. And so, we've come a long way since a doctor back then and a doctor today is completely different. But I just found that fascinating that hand out a iodine pill instead of an antibiotic.
Well, yeah, here in the United States, they say it's like 75% of the country is deficient of iodine. It's not in our soils anywhere. Here, actually, in the Kakalaki, North and South Carolina, where all the red clay is, we have the iodine. It's in the soil here. But the rest of the country is really deficient of it. It's never been put back into the soil.
That's right. You got the
berries; they just suck it right out of the soil. But here we have all this iron in all this red clay, and I guess this place is really high in iodine around here.
Yeah, that's good. Like, that's right. The main farmers really only put NPK, so your nitrogen, your phosphorus, and your potassium back in. So they're not putting huge amounts of trace elements, but they do they'll give it to chickens when they're just sort of born and things like that. So this is how you're getting it in your diet. It's like fortification or to keep other animals healthy. But, it says in one of the articles here, if the children and unborn babies have too little iodine, there can be problems with normal development, brain damage, intellectual disability, low IQ, stunted growth.
My aunt was 4'5", maybe. She was a test subject for radiation treatment of your, what did I just say? That one gland that you have. I haven't remembered now.
The thyroid.
Thyroid,
because that's what. Yeah,
she had some kind of radiation treatment on her thyroid, and it stunted her growth to where she quit growing.
Oh man!
Everybody else, my mom was 5'8", 5'9" at her tallest, and my aunt was 4'4", 4'5", somewhere right around there.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, and if you get too little, you get those what they used to call goiters, and I suppose they were more common back in the day, and that's why they started sort of putting it on cereal. They also seem to wash. Yeah, they put in the salt. Exactly.
Now they don't even do that anymore.
Yeah, but now they can make a lot more money from sick people too,
Well, yeah.
than they probably ever have. Just in, I think Pfizer, I read somewhere, I think it was Pfizer, or one of the big ones, has made like something like $18 billion, in the first half of 2021 alone. And that's just off a few of the increases in these drugs. And specific ones were the actual ones for blood clotting. And the other one was something myalgia. I'll have to look it up again. But, something to do with the heart.
The craziest thing is there are so many natural remedies for all this stuff. If you want good blood pressure and have good arteries and veins, eat some dark chocolate and eat cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper will regulate your blood pressure. It'll keep it, nice and level and stable, and it helps clear out your arteries. And the dark chocolate, it keeps your arteries limber and rubbery so they don't get brittle and start breaking on you and stuff like that. There's so many natural ways, and it's not like you wait till the problem occurs and then you start doing it. You need these minerals and vitamins in your body at all times so your body can do what it's supposed to do and flush out all. Like iodine is great for getting rid of heavy metals, mercury, lead, all these things that store up in our body if it doesn't have the stuff to get it out and flush it out. And if you don't have iodine, your thyroid can't do what it's supposed to do.
Walter, were you going to say sorry.
All this stuff?
No, I was just letting him finish up because I was going to say, and without a doubt, though Zach, nor Lucas, nor I, nor Josh are doctors, nor do we play one even here on TFR, we definitely can speak from some life experiences with different things that we've done for ourselves. One of those being turmeric, curcumin. It is also amazing for plaque, arterial inflammation, to add to your cayenne pepper, and it definitely will help with pain, just general body fatigue, and if you're like in a wreck and hurt all the time and things like that. So definitely add that to your mix as well. And then I wanted to also get back to the iodine before we get too far from it. My family, let me think, all the people did. My uncle, my grandmother, and my dad all had things cut off either of their shoulders, back of their neck, or their faces as I was growing up, quote unquote, to prevent cancer from spreading. Skin cancer. Okay. Well, as I grew up and learned about the cancer industry and all that stuff, I would watch different areas of my body to make sure certain moles didn't grow or change shape or things like that. Well, a couple started doing that. Oh, I guess about 4 years ago now, 3 years ago now. I know I was in Oregon because I had to take the iodine with me. So after doing a lot of research, I found a good bit of anecdotal evidence and testimony saying that if one would apply topically Lugol's iodine, which has a certain percentage, I can't remember, I'm thinking 7, but I'm going to look it up in a minute. But it's definitely a higher percentage than the iodine that would be like in your medicine cabinet that you put on your bobu when you were growing up. The grandma made you hold still and burnt the hell out of you every time you got a little cut or whatever. Monkey blood, maybe, if you're from the South. Anyway, that iodine is not the kind you would use. The kind you would use would have a certain percentage. Again, I'll look it up in a second. But I bought a bottle of it.
Purple? Was it purple?
It was heavy duty orange, red. I mean, not orange, maroon. It would stain orange after you tried to get it off of you. It would leave an orange stain. But it definitely, over the time I applied it to these two different areas, they went away, period. And as I did the research on it, it was something that you could also take supplementally as an internal type medicine. in a dropper form in some water, etc. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling anybody to do this. This is what I did. And during that period, while I usually suffer from being in a different altitude when I'm in Oregon, when I'm over there, my arm hurts more. Anything that I got hurt during the wreck, it hurts more there, just from being at different altitude, different air pressure, different temperatures. I know when I get off that plane there in Oregon, I'm going to be hurting until I make it to a dispensary and really apply some medicine internally and get it, stop the pain. And usually that takes a while because it's just a different place there. But during that year that I was there, which, it's usually something going on. I think that might have been the year I went for Mom's birthday, actually. So it wasn't a time when she was sick. So we were actually out doing a lot of stuff, walking up the hills, going to the falls. It seemed to really improve things for me all the way around, both the places that I myself, not being a doctor, diagnosed as potential skin cancer, and just my overall feeling of just general feeling good and helping and energetic and just different than I did before I started applying that to me externally and internally. That being said, as a maintenance, I would have to do more research on it, and it's expensive as hell. And that kind of should maybe also be a factor in letting you know possibly how effective it can be. Because to buy a bottle of some little mineral shouldn't be like whatever it was at the time. I can't remember. It could have been like 20 or 30 bucks for a little bottle. I'm sitting here looking at the silver I bought recently that I paid, I know, right at $25 for. It's distilled water with some silver that's been whatever the word is, applied to it. It shouldn't cost that freaking much. But because it actually works and does something, it's expensive as hell. Now, your company, I can't remember which one you mentioned earlier, Lucas, the petrochemical pharmacy, they'll help you get your shit free. They'll make sure you get it inside you for fucking free. But to try to actually get healthy stuff, you have to actually go broke or take out a loan. So, yeah, but definitely, I with personal experience, I can say it improved my health during the time that I was dabbling in iodine.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Here's something
interesting. There is supposedly two types. One's an iodine and one's an iodide. That's the body can't sort of convert the iodine. So, again, do your own research on this stuff. I just sort of bring it up because it was interesting. But it's a similar sort of way of saying chlorine and chloride. They're just the different sort of states of the element. The other thing that I'll bring up as well real quick, it's called this daily greens juice. That was mentioned. I'll just put it in chat and you guys can suss it out for yourselves. But it's not the iodine, but it's just got a bunch of other stuff with it. So happy looking at that.
And if you'd like to save a few bucks, sorry, Josh, make it yourself. When I did my golden seal pills and I was making those, it's about half price if you go and buy the little gel capsules and the powder yourself and just make them. I'd pay like $26, $27 and get 100 pills out of that, where the 50 pills cost about $50. So there are ways to make the stuff cheaper. You just got to go get all the little knickknacks, the little tiny funnel, maybe a little crucible or something, and just mix it up yourself. It's easy. It takes a little bit of time, but it'll cut down on the price big time.
Now, that is absolutely true, and I did the research myself, and I started doing that for my kratom. To buy the kratom to already have it in capsule form is prohibitively expensive. Getting it in powder form yourself and making your own is definitely the way to go. I would have said that about turmeric, the curcumin, probably even like 6 or 8 months ago. I would have told you, yeah, you can go buy that at like Whole Foods or somewhere and get your own capsule, make your own. And I've done a little more research because the company I used to like kind of disappeared during all the madness we went through these last year and a half or so, 2 years, whatever the fuck it's been. And so the one I used to love, I can't get anymore. So I had to research on what's the next best supplement that I take daily for the turmeric. And so during doing that research and reading a lot of the people's stuff I respect, I found out that you definitely want to try to go with the curcuminoids, which is the concentrated, highest concentration of all the goodies that you need. If you're just getting the off the shelf, basically a step away from being spice, which is what it is, it's actually curry. If you go that route, you're going to have to ton up on it. You'd have to take handful of it, literally. You don't want that much of that powder in your system. Well, you might, but I wouldn't. Been there, done that. So definitely try to go with the curcuminoid. I can't talk now. The higher concentrations. You want to go look. And I could tell you the name of the one I'm currently taking if I had the bottle in front of me, but I don't. So during the break, I'll grab it and let you guys know a good one that I'm taking from my personal experience.
And here we are.
Not a doctor. Not playing one. Anyway, go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Got about 60 seconds before we hit that halfway mark.
Look at us.
Look at us go. So if you believe the official narrative of history, after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the employees at a miso soup factory were completely unaffected by any of the radioactive fallout from the atomic bombs that fell, unlike all of the people around them. Because part of their benefits for working in a miso soup factory was all the miso soup they could eat. So they were fully stocked up on that miso soup. So when the atomic bombs fell and they got all their radiation poisoning, they were the only ones that were completely unaffected because they had all of that extra iodine in their systems from the miso soup. Look at that. If you believe the official narrative.
If you do.
So duck cover miso soup.
That's right. Duck cover. Bend over, grab your ankles, and take a miso soup enema. Well, all right. We'll be right back.
And I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
If you're a parent, chances are you know all about the Spooky Truth books, with subjects ranging from shadowy fraternal organizations to mind-controlling TV shows. Kids can't get enough of this series of short, scary children's novels.
And Spooky Truth author Cale Graves is joining us this morning to talk about his latest book, Night of the Brainwashed Babysitter. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, my kids just love these books. Tell us about this new one.
Well, sure, I'd love to. It picks up right at the end of the last book, where Henry's parents just left and his babysitter, Kelly, starts acting creepy and a little strange.
Sounds scary.
Yes. If you scratch beneath the surface, Jim, you'll see that the reason Kelly turns evil is because her mind is being twisted by subliminal messages that she is receiving through the news.
Oh, I'm hooked already.
And the question is, will Henry be able to rescue his brother and sister from the secret society of Illuminati scumbags who are really pulling the strings?
No spoilers here.
Now, in just 4 years, you've put out 25 books. It came from Tower 7, Curse of the Chemtrails, The Zionist Who Cried Holocaust. Tell me, where do you come up with all these spooky ideas?
Now, I find, and I tell this to kids all the time, that if you look close enough, the spooky truth is everywhere. And once you see it, you can't stop seeing it. It's all around you. Before this series, I was self-publishing pamphlets and handing them out on the train. Now I get emails from teachers and parents all the time telling me that my books are all their kids can talk about.
Oh, well, it's true. My son used to hate to read. Now he's holed up in the basement with these spooky truth books all day and night.
You know, my message to kids is that pulling the curtain back on what the government doesn't want us to know can be fun.
Well, it is certainly working. We hear stories all the time of kids decorating their rooms with plots and characters from the stories. There's even a growing fan base, as you well know, on the internet who call themselves the Spooky Truthers, and they talk all day long about your storylines on their message board.
Into the truth frequency. Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really.
Good morning, TFR. Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworks because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworks with Zach, Walter, and Josh.
And Lucas.
Break clear of the fear on the Ironworks and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back. Hour number 2.
Sorry, Tommy. The Kakalaki crew, man, just gotten usurped. Oh, that was great. Oh, no, that was amazing stuff.
I'm like choking over here.
I know, dude.
From the first one.
There was somebody, I can't remember for the life of me who it was. There was somebody in chat. Robert Page, I'm almost positive it was Robert, said we should do it with a robotic voice and just add that in there.
I saw it. Too great. Yeah, that is the new permanent one now.
And Lucas.
You know, even as welcome back. It's the Ironworks. Sorry, I just am excited because even as I was telling the story about my Lugal's Iodine, I was like combing through my brain because it's been a year or 5, 4, whatever it was. Trying to remember 3, 2. I don't know. It's been a while. Trying to remember where did I source that? Where did I get the information in the first place? I know I wouldn't just generally go and getting it off the internet because that stuff's hard to find. Shout out to the Alan Holman, whose book I had read because my mother was going through cancer. I'm not going to try to murder the name of that book. You always say it better than me, Josh. Please tell everybody about Alan Holman's amazing book that will help if you have some issues in this area.
Alcepius's Staff, I do believe.
That's one, sir. Correct. Thank you. In fact, he also put in chat that it was on page 35 of his book, which is linked up right there in that chat for everyone to check out. Highly recommend it. It helped me. It could have helped my mother more if the people I sent it to repeatedly would have read it. But anyway, that's a whole different show. Now, I'm going to do something I've never done, I don't think, ever. I'm going to cold book this show. Jason Jones in chat mentioned earlier, and I had highlighted it, some very amazing information about a little bit of knowledge base about all this stuff we're talking about. And then I had issues with my computer and had to reset it, and I lost that. Thank goodness Jason is also included. Where is it? I've lost it again. Damn it, I've lost my highlight. Anyway, Jason Jones, if you would like to come on this show and share some of your information that it seems you're willing to share from the note I had highlighted and have now lost. You had shared your email. There it is. Please get in touch with us and come hang out. You're welcome. You don't have to get on camera. You're welcome to get on camera. As you know, on camera on the radio doesn't always work out. But hey, we'll do our best. But seriously, anytime you want to come and be a part of this show, you are now officially invited. You know where to find us, obviously, because you're here, and I appreciate the hell out of that.
Sweet.
And no, we're not going to sit here in silence and wait for your answer. Just get in touch with us. Sorry, I didn't mean to just drop off like that. Yeah, just get in touch with us, and you can email us and say, "Nah, fuck off. I don't have time for that." But you definitely are welcome. Please do. I would love to hear from you.
Well, I was going to shift gears for a second and talk about this fucking horrible movie that I watched. Oh, well, I didn't even make it all the way through. It was called Fantastic Fungi. And I was like, oh, this should be good. It was on Netflix. And I was like, oh, this should be good. A bit of, information about fungi and how it grows and what it does and that sort of thing. It was, talk about like indoctrination. It's like in one breath they're saying, oh, yeah, everything's, created and it's so fantastic. These fungi, they're mycelium underneath the soil. They can have like 1 trillion cells and, it's like a brain synapses, and this is how they communicate, and it's just, like your soil's basically thinking when it's got these animals, plant/animals, because they're sort of supposedly halfway between. And then in the next breath, they're bringing up evolution. It's like, oh, this is how humans got smarter. They basically found, mushrooms in turds of animals and picked it up and ate it and thought it was fantastic. And this is how we started to create more synapses in our brains.
No.
Yeah.
You are
they actually had.
Sure, they took a Bill Hicks routine and have turned it into a fucking scientific theory.
Really?
Yeah.
Bill Hicks.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Bill Hicks did a routine where that's his routine, is that all these years ago, as we were monkeys running around chasing cows because we couldn't catch them, and they would poop, and we go and start playing around in the poop, and there's the mushroom, and he eats it, and then the next thing you know, we go to the moon. That's his fucking routine. Sure, they have turned that into freaking scientific.
Yeah, and they had like the ape-looking figures too, like walking after him, like. You see him like standing there tripping out on these mushrooms. It's really weird. And I was like, that was the first thing. And then it sort of, there was other stuff through it. There was one bit, I got to the point where the guy who's, basically the main character, he talks about a trip he had and lost his stutter and things like that, which I thought, oh, well, that's not too bad. And then he goes, we've been working with the fungus, but hats off. Basically, he gave credit to Dick Cheney and George Bush, and I'm just like, what? And I'm just like, click. This thing's fucking bullshit. But, so yeah, if you want to piss yourself off, go and watch that movie.
Hey, that's great. Oh my God. I'm sending you this real quick somewhere, Josh. I don't know where to even put it, so I'm not on the computer. But yeah, I can't share. You have to play it in a minute.
Send it to Telegram if you can.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'll try to put it in here. It'll be in show prep. That'll be easier because I'm afraid if I log back into the call again, that's what was causing me to have the issues I was having, being on my phone and on my Skype call under the same account. So I've dropped it there. And just share that. And everybody, listen to what Alex. Oh, I'm sorry. What Bill Hicks. It's great because, dude, I love this. Like, this was one of my favorite routines of his. This one, and of course, well, just that whole Revelations, which is the name of that special that you're about to hear a bit from. That Revelations special hit me at the perfect time. There was a Tool tie-in. Again, a lot of stuff I used to really, really love back in the day. All kind of coincided, coalesced, coinky-dinked all at once. And then we had the Netflix special. Oh, I can't believe it. This is too great. This is just too great.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I believe that God left certain drugs growing naturally upon our planet to help speed up and facilitate our evolution. Okay, not the most popular idea ever expressed. Either that or you're real high and agreeing with me in the only way you can right now. I forgot the code. Is it 2 blinks yes, 1 blink no? Do you think magic mushrooms growing atop cow shit was an accident? Where do you think the phrase, that's good shit, came from? Why do you think Hindus think cows are holy? Holy shit. Why do I think McDonald's is the Antichrist? That's God's little accelerator pad for our evolution. Because think about this, man. For billions of years, sorry, fundamentalists, we were nothing but apes. Probably too stupid to catch a cow, you know.
I forgot there was the visual aspect of this routine. Sorry, everybody. He's mimicking an ape stepping in crap and then finding a mushroom.
Yeah, I was really hoping for some more narration here.
Yeah, not bad. Since I've watched it. But as he eats the mushroom and starts like becoming conscious, you'll see the idea, I guess. Sorry, it was not the clip to play. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, well, that okay. So that's where they got it from. I mean,
obviously, dude. I mean, freaking. And this is from like 90, 89, 90, something like that.
Mm.
I know. I was still in school, so in college. At least that old.
I remember my world history teacher in 9th grade showing us a video like real early, one of the first days, and it showed the caveman, but he ate it. They didn't say it was a magic mushroom. It was some type of flower. You know, they're just exploring the earth. They don't have anything mapped out. They don't know what they're going to find. But, we find this new flower. He eats the flower. He gets all stoned, and then he figures out how to do fire. And that was the first time, you know, it was different back then. People didn't talk about drugs so much, at least on the shows that I was watching. And that was the first time like a teacher had mentioned, oh, he got stoned. Nobody in the class knew what to answer when he asked, because we were all, 13, 14 years old, and he's asking us, do you know what he's doing right now? And if you say he's getting high, then you know he's getting high. And I mean, I knew what he was doing, but I didn't say it.
Don't want to give yourself yourself away.
Because everybody else were all just looking at each other like, do we tell him that we know what he's talking about. It was at that time, you know, in your life where you're not sure if it's okay that you know these things. But yeah, they were even pushing it back then in school that these plants and these different things that get you high, like, helped human advancement.
Well, there's that whole, I don't know if you've done any research on this, but it's basically, you know, people going back into the old religious texts and things like that, and they, you know, try and sort of say that they were using drugs back then to meet God and all this sort of stuff. So there's this people that, you know, try and show that, you know, this is what a lot of the religious texts were about, you know, as well. So I don't really necessarily agree with that, their stance, but nevertheless, it's interesting what they come up with.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much for technological advancements. I mean, it can help with ideas, but I think it's more of a spiritual thing. You know, it helps you get answers to the questions. Some questions you don't even know that you're asking yourself consciously. I've dabbled with that stuff, and yeah, it's your brain is like moving 1,000,000 miles a second, and you can just think clearly almost. It's weird. It's like you're connected to source somehow.
Well, you know, and this is what they say have the properties, you know, when you actually just ingest. It doesn't need to be, you know, having a psychedelic experience of it, but some of the other mushrooms like reishi and lion's mane and there's a few others that act like adaptogens. They call them adaptogens in the body, so they can basically, you know, help correct the nervous system. And if you look at, say, if we're saying things like you have a walnut and it looks like your brain, for instance, well, you know, your mushrooms have a symbiosis or a connection to your nervous system. And so, you know, there's that sort of idea that goes along with it, that it can start to heal the nervous system and rebalance, you know, parasympathetic with sympathetic type stuff.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Life's worth of research to do.
Yeah, and the other thing, like, you know, I've thought about this before when farming and that's why I'm sort of go more along the lines of the no-till sort of thing, where you're not disturbing too much of the soil and breaking up those mycelium, the actual conduits that these chemicals and other things can actually move along. And I think they play a really big role in how the plants actually receive their nutrients as well as communicate. So there's probably a whole huge amount to learn from just in that one subject.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't they say the biggest living organism is a plant? Is a
it's a fungus. Yep.
Yeah, it's the fungus, not like a tree, but it is a fungus.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And don't they have like a certain type of structure? They think some of these, they find them along the oceans, and it'll look like little hexagons all stacked together, somewhat like hexagonal shapes. Kind of like, whatchamacallit, the Devil's Tower. If you look at it from the top, you can see all these shapes that the columns are growing up in, and that's the same thing that these fungus grow in.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
But what if that wasn't a tree? What if that was a mushroom?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just saying.
What if it was? That's nuts.
Look at Mario Brothers.
And some of those mushrooms, what do they say? They're bioluminescent. So yeah, they actually glowed in the dark, and you know, they have all these pretty amazing properties to them.
Could you
Dude, the dome is a mushroom. We live inside a mushroom. We just figured it out. We're in a mushroom, and the dome. I'm just kidding.
I do want to make one correction. Asclepius's staff, I believe is the correct pronunciation. Even I ended up butchering it. But as it would happen, the inspiration, sort of some of the source material behind Asclepius's staff came from Dr. Leonard Caldwell, who just today is kicking off a new Roku channel that can be found over at drcaldwellopinion.tv. So Alan wanted me to remind everybody to head on over there and check out Dr. Leonard Caldwell's work.
Heck yeah.
For you. And Lucas.
Well, wasn't Asclepius it's a bit of doesn't roll off the tongue, does it really? He has almost like the half Mercury staff, which is only one snake on a staff. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Not familiar.
Yeah, it's a cool little. Yeah, he was sort of like a Greek god of healing, I thought, but could be wrong. He's got a cool little story with him. I read it a fair while ago. So, Apollo's brother. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not all that caught up with my Greek and Roman mythologies. Or, I don't know. I'd rather call them histories than mythologies. Because I think there's more to that than the crap that we're spewed. Just saying.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I was trying to work out, zodiac things and, just on a hunt, I was comparing the Roman, the Greek, and then the Vedic sort of stuff and, seeing if that would give me a little bit more detail on how they put the zodiac together. And then I had also was looking at the Babylonian and things. A lot of they have similarities. A lot of the gods cross over from Roman and Greek, so you can see the same stories just told in a slightly different way and different representatives.
They talk about that in the Secret History of the World book for sure. That's talked about repeatedly, how this was this person and that person again, and this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's what I found.
Which I've actually not read in a week or so. I just realized now that I say that, I'm like, wait, I didn't read the book after last week's show. Usually after every Friday show, I read a few chapters and find some amazing stuff about what we just talked about. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, when I was doing that comparisons, and you look up the Wikipedia stuff, basically, you'd find lots of errors. And they send you on a red herring. I don't know if they do it on purpose, maybe not. But to find that the stuff about Mercury that I did, it wasn't really, just you had to go outside of the Wikipedia and go to some pretty obscure sort of stuff to start to pull it together. So even when you look at the Roman and Greek gods, especially, because a lot of people just they just say the same things over and over, even different articles, and it's a lot of that can be actually quite wrong and lead you down the garden path. That's for sure. Yep.
Well, we only got a couple minutes before this segment's over. Yep.
That's what I was just trying to get to check. Well, since I mentioned last Friday's show, if you didn't see last Friday's show, somehow missed it, my goodness, epic is not even the word. We had Miss Patricia Steer making sort of her comeback, if you will, which she had already done that, but she's getting back into the flat earth scene, and I'm glad she decided to come hang out with us. Lucas, thank you for setting that up, by the way, friend.
Yeah, that was sweet. I really enjoyed it. It was a great conversation.
Yeah, she was made to do stuff like this. She's just so energetic and just a good-hearted person. She doesn't trash talk. She's very, I don't know how to put it. Patricia's she's special. She's very good.
And after what she went through, it would surely be easy to get salty, resentful, whatever, and maybe try to toss a barb or two back in some general directions. And she rose above that for damn sure. For damn sure. Grace and elegant.
Mm-hmm. Classy lady. So what you got for me, Josh?
Potatoes. Boil them,
All
mash
right.
them, stick them in a stew.
Dude, you were getting
Oh,
too
I'm
good
glad
at
I
that
wasn't having a
soundboard.
mouth of confidence at that point, dude. It would have sprayed all across the frickin' house. Oh, you nut.
Too good with that soundboard. Way too good.
You still need to upgrade it, though, or not upgrade it, but update it. We have some new bites you need to add to it for damn sure.
Like what? What you got?
Well, everything that we've had from Tommy of the last,
Oh, yeah, there is
3 weeks?
all that good
2
stuff.
weeks,
I need
we've
to
got
get
a
the audio
handful,
from.
man. I can't even, name them all.
Yeah,
Take the rest
it's
of
worth
take the
playing a
rest-
few more of them.
Yeah, we got to
time.
get a Mike Tyson one in there for sure.
Yeah, play that one. That one's good.
Yeah, a lot of talent coming out of that Kakalaki crew and the worldwide group.
And I had
they've built.
Another person who's at least close to my age enjoyed immensely the Globe.
Globe House Rock.
Yeah, I couldn't. Man, my head wouldn't get there. Thank you. The Globe House Rock. Yes, it was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I still get chills when I hear it. When he mentions about the education and the indoctrination, and it just flows. It's just so well written, so well choreographed. That should just about bring us up.
Think it ought to be getting pretty close. Should be hearing music any minute.
Getting a little bit of space lettuce when we get back.
We can do it.
Yeah. That's what I was looking at. I wanted to Walt to go over the Google's time crystal discovery. Time crystals. Yeah.
I don't know.
Time crystals.
I don't think I can wrap my head around that. I don't know. I have to see. You saw that in there somewhere.
We'll be right back. We got a break.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality. Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/sign-up. Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Jim Ram, retired. In early 2012, I was facing a laundry list of chronic health conditions that my physician was telling me were incurable. I knew there had to be a better way, and I learned how I could reverse every one of my ailments with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. In just a few months, I was able to reverse high blood pressure, gastric reflux, sleep apnea, arthritis, degenerative disc disease, heart arrhythmia, AFib, and many more. And I've lost over 70 pounds and kept it off. Now I'm hosting a radio program that's dedicated to helping my listeners do the same. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're sick of being used as an ATM by your doctor, then you'll want to tune into the Your DIY Health radio program here on Truth Frequency Radio every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern and 6 to 8 a.m. Pacific.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
And Lucas.
Welcome back to the Ironworks. Fourth and final segment kicking off right now. You know, I thought I would have the audio magically route itself the way it was supposed to, but unfortunately it didn't. So there was a tad bit of an awkward silence there. So you guys talked amongst yourself whilst I tried to get that audio routed properly.
I think
It's
on the next.
so good.
On the next promo, we should have some of those voices. Just pick out parts. Just throw in a couple of the. I think Stephen Hawkins should make an appearance in the next promo.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
Goat
Yeah.
Scream.
The goat, right?
Goat.
Of course, the goat.
Yeah. They're like family now. They've been around for a while.
Man.
You couldn't like have them say hello or just anything, you know? No, just
Well, Egyptian is
well,
a
it's-
dead language, Zach, and it's hard to read. However, I'll stop.
The backstory's the best. Like, it's the sound's funny, but then once you hear the backstory, it's like it's another level, isn't it?
It's like them in Jurassic Park making the same noise as the Velociraptor. You know? Well, we think it looked like this, so it made this noise. Did you see NASA's pushing the whole climate agenda again?
I didn't.
Oh,
But I was
God.
going to say, we found a tooth, we built a dinosaur from it, and we know its neck is purple.
And you never can trust a NASA agenda. NASA's always pushing some weird
We could
agenda.
listen to Iron Realm Media in a nanosecond, but we've lost the technology. And it's a hard process to rebuild Truth Frequency Radio. And it's too bad, because Iron Realm Media is a wonderful program.
So
I
again,
just see the neck.
beware NASA's agendas.
But yeah, they're saying there's less than 1% chance that human beings are not the root cause of the the severe weather changes that we're having in this. It's got nothing to do with them spraying since the 1920s, aerosol in the air and all this stuff. Nothing to do with people flying on private jets. That's all fine. The farmers and cows, it's all their fault.
Okay, here's a little test I want everybody to run real quick. I want you to go in your kitchen and get you a nice tall glass, not a plastic cup or a glass that you can see through. And I want you to fill that up with ice. And I want you over there and I want you to pour a big old glass of tea, iced tea from the South, good stuff. I want you to let it sit there. Right at the edge of the top now, and I want you to go over. Let it sit there. Let that ice melt. I'm done. Go ahead.
But you're not getting it, Walt. It's all the ice on the land.
Oh, so the self-contained thing they say we live upon, the ball or whatever. I see. Okay, I didn't understand how that worked. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's finding its level, you see. As it melts.
Even though they've been saying this, since the 70s? It was freezing, and in the 90s it was warming. And then all of a sudden it stopped warming, but they're still pushing this whole warming thing.
Because there's still too many people remember them saying it was cold, that the ice age is coming. Mm-hmm. Once they die off, they'll be able to say it again.
Yeah, it's like they do it in those cycles. Somebody should do that. Go back and see how many times they've said that climate change was because of human beings. I mean, it's not like, there's so much land out there, and land is like nothing compared to water in this place. And there's so much land that isn't taken up. It's just wide open, spread out. It's this idea that there's too many people here. People need to get out of their big giant cities and have a look around.
Yeah. Come out here, there's fuck all people.
Yeah, isn't it everybody on Earth could fit in Australia and have an acre of land or something like that?
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, there's plenty of room out there, folks. There's not too many people. Don't be scared to go make babies.
Okay, maybe be a little scared. But not because of overpopulation, just because being a parent is scary.
That, yeah.
So space lettuce. What are we going to dig into?
Well, I was looking at this Google's time crystals, and I was trying to figure out what the fuck they were talking about. But I don't know if Walt was going to read it. Cause...
Josh, get the bell ready. That's all I can tell you.
All right,
warm it up.
So let's just see how far we make it. Okay, let's just go. Okay, so forget Google search and fuchsia. That's sentence number one. Researchers from Google, Stanford, Princeton, and other universities might have made a computer discovery so big we can't fully comprehend it yet. Okay, that's two sentences.
All right, there was a might have, right? Yeah.
You're right, but wait, here we go. Even Google researchers aren't entirely sure that their time crystal discovery is valid. I'm done. I think we're finished with that article.
I think so. Is there a need to continue? Isn't that like the best part of the story?
That kind of end of the story right there. If we aren't entirely sure it's valid, then what the fuck are we talking about it for? But if,
well,
it turns out to be accurate,
still valid. We just can't comprehend it. It's
that's right. It's the first. It's the second sentence.
So amazing.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that second sentence, Lucas. Thank you. Oh my God. But if it's true, ding. But if it's true, then Google might be the first company to rule the world and read your mind and feed you bullshit. I'm sorry, they might actually.
It sounds a little bit similar to a ball spinning in a vacuum, and it's just so fantastic that we can't fully comprehend it, you know.
Exactly.
Because it just,
it's all tied it's all tied into quantum computers. So as long as we put quantum in there somewhere, we're good.
Yeah. That's right.
Did they have
And
3 people floating in a pool somewhere?
Well, I'll tell you this.
Gonna happen?
Here's some things we could.
Sipping martinis.
Here's some things we could use quantum computers for challenging problems like warp drives that can make fast interstellar travel possible. I'm done.
Oh.
But quantum computers are really hard to build.
Yeah, and time crystals. This is, all about time crystals, whatever the fuck they are.
I forgot. That's what
they can have their cake and eat it too, and can do it perpetually. So.
Okay, so what's this time crystal made of? Is this some new element?
Time and crystal.
Crystals, man. Come on, you're not. Etymology, man. Etymology, bro. All right, so apparently, time crystals is a new phase of matter. They were theorized in 2012. So, I mean, the end of the world was coming. The Mayan calendar was ending. Time crystals were conceived of. What a year.
Is this part of the dark matter? Are they going to...
Oh, no, this is a whole different thing. This contradicts one of Sir Isaac Newton's famous laws, the first law, actually, of motion, which says that an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object at motion tends to stay in motion. And yet this thing somehow does both, and neither.
Yeah, well, it says a time crystal would be like having a snowflake that can change between 2 configurations back and forth with no energy usage or energy lost.
So fairy dust.
There you fucking go.
No, time crystals.
Well, yeah, you can call it what you want. I'm going to call it fairy dust. It's the same concept. It's just make-believe. Yeah. Pretty much like everything else they're trying to do.
You and me is the question, Lucas.
Okay.
What's that card? What's that card game where you have to sort of, you get given words and then you have to sort of, I don't know. It feels like someone's playing one of those card games and they have to join 2 random words together and then write an article about it. That's what it feels like to me.
Someone stacked the deck with extra cards with quantum written on there with highlighter.
Yeah, and they're just sitting in an office and they're just going, right, this is how we start our day, flip the cards over.
If Google did find a way to make them, the next quantum computers might come with time crystals inside. Anyone might be able to create these computers, and they'd bring quantum coherence to a place where, man,
you can't just throw the word quantum in front of something.
You do. You can, and they
can,
do.
Zach.
That's
You're allowed to.
Good Lord.
That's how you know it's science,
quantum
Zach.
Yard rake.
If you want to know more, go to Quanta Magazine, not Quantum. They changed it. Quanta Magazine. They'll give you a thorough roundup of. They even have an animation of a time crystal. Oh shit! I have to see this.
Well, when they invent the quantum weed picker for me, where I can just set it out there and it just sits there and picks weeds at the same time, then I'll be impressed.
Everybody, okay.
Well, your weeds will be picked and not picked at the same time, so it's going to be a bit of a,
conundrum there.
It will be. Okay, so I'm sharing an animation of
you
the
could
time.
Callum says you can get the time unicorn. Maybe he can mow your grass, pick your weeds.
As long as he doesn't mow over the mushroom. Look, the animation, please share this, because this really makes it real. And thoroughly explains it for me. Now I get it. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like Lucas said earlier, we just couldn't understand it. That was where we were. Now, I got this. Time, crystals, quantum. Oh, shit. See?
Is there a flux capacitor involved in any of this?
I don't know, but it's pretty and purple. That's all I can tell you.
You got to dazzle up with.
Josh, please let me know when it's on the screen. Oh, I got to see it on the computer too. Wait, what?
Crystal. So are these everywhere around us at all time? And not around us at all?
Like Santa Claus and Jesus? I don't understand.
So it's always in the now, Zach. And not.
So it is and isn't. And yet it was and wasn't. And it shall be and shall not be.
So it's yes and no, Zach, to your answer. Question.
It's quantum,
it was
right?
Before you,
yes and no.
It was before your question and after it.
It's whatever you need when you throw the word quantum in front of it. That nullifies it. It's real now.
Is it not?
It's like quantum is like the computer term of gravity.
Right? Exactly. Oh my God! Exactly. That is perfect.
Rick and Morty had an episode about time crystals. Just saying.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, shit.
Must I with Jessica?
Oh, that's
all right, I'm killing time hard as I can. Are you having an issue, Josh?
Just getting it set up.
Okay. Well, I know you were having routing issues, so I don't want to.
Well, it's a pretty quiet video, is it not?
It is very quiet. Well, I mean, when you're like speechless, when you see something, you want it to be quiet. It all finally clicks into place for you, and you feel like, I got it now. You want all like a reverent silence, I would think.
Bum, 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 bum. Just make it a video.
Today on Ironworks, we will listen to video silence.
So this Friday,
Quantum
are we
silence.
locked in, Lucas?
I thought we were.
No,
wait, that's
next Friday.
Not sure.
Not sure. That's next Friday.
Not sure yet.
Well, this Friday
we'll have
is
to talk
locked in.
about that after the show.
Yeah,
okay.
but I think this Friday is locked in, right, Josh?
I do
Wasn't it
believe
locked
so.
in on
Yes.
Friday?
Yes.
Can we mention who we're having?
Heartline Realm.
I don't know.
Yes, Heartline Realm, who we've seen in chat many times. Lisa will be coming on. She's got lots of good things to discuss. So, yeah, I'm really excited to have a conversation with Heartline Realm.
Heck yeah. I love having new people on that you don't see. Does she do a lot of... Has she ever been live yet?
I'm not sure. I wouldn't discount the possibility.
We're missing it. You didn't tell us it was on. I wanted to see it again and get that sense of awe and wonder of time crystallization.
I can put it back up there.
Liz in chat.
No, I rewound it. I watched it. You don't have to.
Sunday will be the big meditation. 8-8.
Oh, that's true. 8-8.
At
Thank
8
you.
o'clock, I'm sure. So it'll be an hour long again, right?
Dude.
And if anyone wants, they can have a meditation tomorrow for my birthday.
Oh!
I thought I'd pick it up. Why not?
Well, a very merry unbirthday to you today, Lucas.
Wait. Which tomorrow are we talking about? The 3rd or the 4th or the 5th?
Well, it's
I mean, the 4th or the
for
5th?
me.
The 4th, because it's the 3rd now for me. I'm trying to figure out which one it really is, because you time travel, dude. You are Quantum Lucas.
I'm a time crystal. That's right. I turned 38. Would you believe?
You youngster.
All right, let me try this.
In my head,
Doesn't feel that young, Walt.
No, trust me. Wait till you get up here with me. Young, what's that?
Robert Page in chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, it's my mom's birthday today. Please give her a shout out. Happy birthday, Sylvia. Happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sylvia. Shout out.
Big shout out to Sylvia. Very happy birthday. Enjoy your birthday cake.
Nom 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 nom.
I love it.
Space
Nothing but
lettuce.
sausage and starch.
Okay. I'm going to get these together.
Space lettuce.
Nom 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 nom.
It reminds me of a joke, but can't say it on air. Sorry.
Oh, that's
it's a pretty
awesome.
funny one.
Cool story, bro.
Those are the best ones.
Cool story. Yeah.
I got a whole list of awesome music that I just can't play you.
Love it. So we got about 5-6 minutes left.
Dude, that's where my brain just truly broke. Now, we joke about it. The time goes by fast on the show. Dude, I swear I thought we were coming up to the 5:30 break. Because being without the computer in my face constantly with the time below it, I don't look at the clock because I'm on the phone. And yeah, when I looked over here and it was almost the end of the show, I did the whole no, there's no way I missed that break. How did I miss that break? Go. Sorry.
You went quantum. You went quantum.
Yes, the time crystals. Fuck, I knew I should have been paying more attention to that story. Damn it.
I forget where I was going. Oh, we got a few minutes. I'd just like to mention that there is a festival coming up here in October. Karen B puts on 2 every year, one for the autumnal equinox right around that time, and one for the spring equinox. This one will be Flattoberfest, October 23rd and 24th in Spartanburg, South Carolina. You can get tickets at flatearthfestivals.com. All one word, flatearthfestivals.com, and they are selling like hotcakes. I know they just opened up more room at one of the hotels because the rooms had already sold out. So if you're interested in going, get a hold of Karen B there at flatearthfestivals.com and make sure you find a place to stay soon because stuff is really just going like hotcakes. It's going to be fun. I'll be there. Hopefully, Walt, maybe Josh, maybe mosey on over.
Maybe. You never know. I'm actually trying to get back to the chat and say goodbye to everyone. Thank you, Liz. I see your cake super chat too. You missed it already, but I was struggling to get back, so. She probably sent that birthday cake to Robert's mom. You're nice, Liz.
Nom 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 nom.
This dude.
And
So
if you send
Friday.
it now, it'll get to Lucas on his birthday. Just send it quantum.
All right,
That's
you
right.
missed that to Lucas.
future.
You can have a piece of your cake. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to give your cake away. It was good seeing you all there in chat, even though I wasn't there in chat at all much, except for early on. But yeah, thank you guys for being there. It was good to see some old faces. I'm looking at you, V. Allen Holton. Miss you, brother. Glad to have you here this morning. And Brian. I haven't had you around a minute, too.
Brian in there.
Yeah.
Much
And all
love,
the chats. The chats. The scouts that we haven't had around in a long time. Pavlo and Silamo. God, that came out really weird. Silamo.
Bit of the computer.
I know, right? That's
You went quantum for a
that
second.
Was my time
Yeah.
crystal. That was it. My time crystal kicking. Yeah. But yeah, surely Friday, we can't wait. We'll have a great show with Lisa. So that's the afternoon show, right? Not the morning show. I want to make sure everybody knows which one.
That is correct, sir.
Okay, afternoon show over there on Have No Sphere, which is our YouTube show we do on our Iron Media channel. But you probably know that already. Yes, you. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, well, I do. Yeah.
All right.
And Lucas.
And Lucas.
Damn, that never gets old.
That was so easy, dude. We fixed it. I mean, we don't. Yeah, thank you for the idea, Brian. But we don't need a new from. I think Josh just patched that right up. No, seriously, we'll have to like come up with an idea. I had actually thought about like writing out something and having everybody read the same thing, and then I would kind of go between people's voices. That was an idea I already had floating in my head. So you never know. And who else might speak up and come want to be a part of that? You never know. We've already got a few celebrities on board, so.
And Lucas, if you'll notice, even the AI voice has a little bit of an Australian accent.
And Lucas.
Yeah, it's got a bit nasally there as well, isn't it?
And Lucas.
I thought it was Rob.
And Lucas.
Yep.
And Lucas.
I love y'all. A little too high on that one.
Flat accord music in chat. Get with me. I don't know. Me and Lucas are struggling trying to get some music happening, so you never know. We can make it work out, brother. Somehow, some way, someday. Get with me.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Lucas.
And Lucas.
That'll be all day today now. Every time.
Definitely getting back into the music now, especially since I heard those two bass players going at it.
Right, dude.
Yeah, I forgot to even talk about them. It's like two basses. Amazing.
Space lettuce.
Nom 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 nom.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Well, we haven't heard Neil in a while.
Asshole. I mean, that's a blast from the past. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being you. I love you guys.
Second that. Thanks, everyone.
Yep, that's going to be about it, I do believe. Any minute now. Oh, I got to go to work. This sucks.
Y'all have a great day.
Have a great rest of your week as well. We shall see you right back here on Friday morning for another episode of the Ironworks. Then again on Friday afternoon for Have No Sphere. Again, where we're going to talk to Hardline Realm. Is the channel on YouTube. It's Lisa who emailed us. So that's going to be exciting. In the meantime, be good, be well. Have yourselves a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.